Welcome live from Chicago and Memphis, apparently. I am pleased to bring you guys a Sinful Sunday edition of Reapers Underground, as we weren't able to do the interview earlier in the weekend, unfortunately. Actually, it was supposed to be Thursday. Holy shit, it's been like 3 days now. God damn. But the big bad devil daddy is here, and with me is the Cult of Dis, otherwise known as Deathspiral of the Inherited Suffering. Hopefully I said that correctly. Glad to have you guys with me tonight. And this is the time, my demons, to make sure that you guys share this out everywhere and everywhere that there is a metal fucking fan, because this band is fucking amazing. They're coming up real strong. And before we get into this, while you guys are doing all your sharing, we're going to take a quick commercial break here. And I think I may or may not have it loaded up. Ooh, that's on the other one. Gotcha. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break to our brothers at Villain Arts Tattoos. Check it out. That's right. Y'all, too, can definitely enjoy all of that and more at any of the Villain Arts Tattoo conventions. I just got done doing my Chicago appearance here, and it was off the chain. So the next one coming up will be in May, so in Kansas City. So Kansas City, get ready, because the devil's coming to see you. All right. So we are here with Deathspiral of the Inherited Suffering. Woo, that's a mouthful. I don't know how you guys say that. How you guys?
Well, you can just say dis. D-I-S, dis.
All right. Well, shit. I might as well just start doing that.
That's what we do.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Awesome. To all of our addicts in the comment section. Hello. Welcome. Welcome. Make sure you're sharing it. God damn it. All right. So let's go ahead and have each of you guys tell us your names and what you play in the band.
I am Thomas Theon, lead guitar, vocals to my left. Tavram, rhythm guitar. Simon Magus, bass. Monas Vacort, drums.
Hell yeah. And everybody out there knows that I'm a drummer myself, so I definitely got some awesome drumming questions for you. We will get to that. Man, you guys are definitely lighting it up as far as, doing your shows and stuff. Everything that I've heard on Bandcamp is fucking amazing. Absolutely love it. Honored to have you guys on the show. So how did you guys get started?
I can't give you the whole story because that's the story of my life and his, because we started this when we were 14 and 16.
Wow.
So almost 20 years ago. I'm 35 now.
Woo.
So we're gonna do a little bit of a summary for your sake. Don't worry, I'm working on the autobiography. It'll come out in 100 years or whatever. But basically, we started out as a metal band, really into stuff like Morbid Angel, Hate Eternal, Nile. You know, that ancient, crushing, dark death metal. That was our shit.
Absolutely.
And we didn't take long to find that sort of similar feel in black metal. That mystique, that enigmatic darkness that appealed to us in the other stuff. So we kind of transitioned into a blackened death metal. Of course, back then we didn't know that that was a thing, really. We were just doing it in this fucking beaten up, broken down cabin in his backyard in the ghetto. And we did it for a long time. We got pretty fucking good at it. And we never really played shows for the first, I want to say, I don't know, 10, 15 years of our existence. And then we met Simon Magus here through some mutual friends who started a band here in Memphis called Savad. It lasted about 7 years, some underground raw black metal stuff.
Nice.
We had about as much success as you can have in that field, as much as you want to have, so you're not underground anymore, right? And then that band dissolved. We kept the bassist and brought him over on board with this. This motherfucker has been my friend since middle school, unfortunately. And
Affectionately, but not happily.
Oh, for sure. No, very happily. He's
I know.
one of my
I'm
best
just
friends.
teasing.
Oh, me too. We are all absolutely best friends first and foremost in this band, because none of us would ever want to be in a band with people that have to be paid to do a good job, or people who aren't in it 100% for all the right reasons. So that's our thing. And we only recently started within the past 3-4 years with this lineup coming together, having known each other for a very long time, and started to say, okay, it's time to step out of the shadows and really get fucking serious and make this a known thing to everyone. Let them know what we know about us and about what we're doing. So we're very excited to do that. We got 3 shows under our belt. Actually, 2018 was the official beginning of this incarnation of Deathspiral of Inherited Suffering. And it came in the form of a 3-way split released by Voidhanger called Metamorphosphoros. We got 3 songs on there. And it's been 5 years since we put anything else out. Well, more than that now. I got so used to saying 5 years, 6 now, right? So we got a lot coming. I know bands always say that, big things coming, but that's how we feel. So we got a lot in the works, and we're excited to be doing this for real now, not just, as our own personal practice. Not doing it for fun. We were doing it because we had to. And now we've decided to share that with you.
Hell yeah. I mean, that's kind of a true testament to a band. First and foremost, I've always said it. You're a band of brothers, sisters, if you have girls, in the band or whatever. It takes a family to really come together and make something like the creative force and just the tightness, knowing each other musically and as friends. Everybody's got their backs. That's what really makes a band, to me, especially today, stand out. Not everyone is like, oh, in it for the money, because if you're in it for the money, you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean?
Or in it for the ego trip, or in it for the, anything, drugs, sex, for, just to say you had the experience. Oh man, I was on a stage, I was on a tour bus. That shit doesn't matter.
No, I mean, most of the time, bands on the road end up hating each other because they're sharing that space.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. But when they're bound by something much bigger than any of them, they always come back to that, no matter what. That's what we do. So,
definitely.
Right.
There's definitely a mystique. Obviously, I am very much Satanist and occultist myself. So what is some of that, mystique about this band, like all the way down to the name? How did you end up coming up with that name?
Man, I could talk for hours about this. It's outlined in our lyrics. It will be revealed over time. We have a long-term plan to flesh out all of the things that we want to share. Each of us have our own individual occult practices and spiritual
Sure.
practices, and then we have what we do when we come together, which is the culmination of that we share with the world. Everything else is esoteric. It's for us, it's for our inner circle, but a very significant portion of what we do is for sharing. We believe that art is for sharing, magic, the ritual of music, it's all for us, and it can be observed and taken in by anyone who's fully invested in that experience, and they can use it in their own life. If they can't, then I hope they find it somewhere. But that's what we're doing. Yeah. And
Now, see,
this,
that's
to answer your first question about the name, Death Spiral of Inherited Suffering, that's sort of the foundation of understanding what we do. That's how we view this world. We are heavily rooted in Gnostic, Hermetic, alchemical, theurgic concepts. So even Hinduism, reincarnation. So life, death, rebirth. It's all a death spiral of inherited suffering. And what you do with that here in hell, aka this, is what we're all about.
absolutely. And those are actually all paths that I'm actually very familiar with and have read. I mean, I've been basically a student of philosophy and wisdom because I don't like the religion word. That's
Same.
so I can definitely appreciate that. And I love how you're bringing that to the world. You're more than just like your average, like you said, black and death metal, a little bit of black metal in there as well. Um, it's not for show. This is something you feel. And that really, I think, comes across to the fans that you have and can connect with that. Everyone's always like, oh, yeah, it's always this occult shit. Well, you know what? There's a lot of wisdom out there in the Morgrat universe. When you catch a band such as them, you can really kind of like internalize and connect with what, the lyrics are about, which is fucking phenomenal. We're going to get into so many aspects of the band, but we do have your first question here from our brother Kyler. He says, first question I have, oh, wait a minute, says, I had listened a little bit of your stuff. What tuning, I think what he's asking is what tuning are you using? Because he can't put his finger on it quite.
Yeah, if he's referring to the recorded output so far, like on Bandcamp from Metamorphosphoros, the production on that could be a little better. We were proud of it at the time. We did it ourselves, and we did the new one ourselves too.
Good.
But anyway, yeah, it says C sharp. We use C sharp. It's the same guitar tuning that Morbid Angel used on Gateways to Annihilation. I think Opeth used it on Ghost Reveries. There's tons of bands that use C sharp. So
Venom used it back in the day.
Venom.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm a huge fan of C sharp. I think it's so
C sharp standard, not
dissonant.
By the way. Very important.
Absolutely. It creates a music scape, as I like to call it, that can literally just kind of suck you into the world of what you guys are conveying. So that's awesome.
It's a good foundation. It's like a painter's palette. C sharp, our tuning. It's what we, it's all technical. It's all mechanical. It's all craft. But C sharp offers us a lot of options to express, what we're trying to do, and that could change. So far,
and for that being your first effort, and you guys did it yourself, my hat's off to you, because if you listen to like those early recordings of, let's say, Mayhem, they were so bad.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. If you look at 2018 release that we had, that was after 15 years of us doing it in private. So, we had a lot of time to figure it out. I wish the world could hear some of the recordings that are long buried by time and dust. Like
for sure.
Our old shit. That's long gone though. Good riddance too.
Well, hey, I mean, it was a stepping stone.
That's right.
Every band goes through it. We learn from it, and then, figure out, hey, this is what we didn't like. Then we're going to, kind of switch it up a little bit. and do something a little bit different, next time, and really get it's so much better when musicians take an active role in the engineering process. I think there's a lot of bands that are just like, here, I put it in your hands, do your magic. No, fuck that. You guys are making this for you. Rick Rubin said it best. When he records a band, it's for that band. It's not for the fans. Because if the band's happy with it, then the fans will follow. And you guys are definitely amassing an amount of fans, which is fucking killer. I've always said there's not enough really good. We still there? Sweet. All right.
Oh, we're here. Yeah,
I thought maybe the signal got screwed up for a second.
No, we're trying to make sure we don't talk over you. That's all.
Oh no, and I'm trying not to do that as well. Believe me. But shit, I forget where I was going with that. But still, there's not enough.
Well, hey, I would like to comment on what you were saying though about Rick Rubin and saying take it into your hands, because it would be like a painter doing 70% of the painting and then handing it to somebody else and being like, finish this for me. So I have no interest in studio engineering. Like if I did that as a job for other people, the only reason that we've ever learned to do that is so that we could have control over what we're presenting to the world. By the way, we are outside of my residence here, so you might hear sirens. We're in Memphis after all, so if that happens, we'll wait it out, I guess. But if it's not a problem, we'll roll on through. So.
I hear you fine over it, believe it or not.
Good.
I think that just adds to the flavor.
Welcome.
Spiraling out around us.
Yeah, that's right.
Trust me, that's pretty much an average night for me in Plattsmouth, Nebraska.
So you get it, yeah.
All we hear all night long, because there's not really any crime, but there's a lot of drunks on the road. So the ambulances are always going around.
And we get ambulances, gunshots, screams of horror, all that. It's a good backdrop for creating what we do.
Most definitely. And there's a lot to be felt through that type of environment. Let's see here. Our brother Cody from Defiler of the Crown Art. A cult takes far more studying and wisdom than reading or listening to someone talk about a zombie nailed to a stick. I could not agree more, I think.
I'd like to comment on that or respond to that. The occult is an umbrella term that includes a lot of things that are present in Abrahamic practices. Now, religion is for people who have nothing in their heart and they need control. Yeah, religion's for control. But the symbol of the crucifix, whether it's inverted or upright, it's an occult symbol, believe it or not. It's been co-opted by the church. And even the symbol of Jesus Christ is a symbol of ascendance and transmutation. Now, when people start to just obey the orders of a church or a religion, they lose the fucking plot. But to throw the baby out with the bathwater is silly. We don't subscribe to anything established. We take what is real and true and how it applies to us and how it resonates, and we manifest that into something that helps us grow in a direction that is the way the world should be going. And if that was Jesus Christ, that's what we would do. It's just that there's so many other factors. It is Lucifer. It is Prometheus. It is Pistis Sophia. It is sort of all of that. So open-mindedness is essential. And associating things because you have a bias against a religion and making an opinion that just sweeps through all of that negates what you're trying to do. But I do think that adversarial nature is important. Understanding that most of it is a lie, that's essential.
Most definitely, man. There has been these paths, long before the time of religion ever even being thought of. So it's much, much older than us. And most of us that are more open, more attuned, are awakening, Luckily, I found it at 13 years of age because I grew up in a very godless household. So I was able to be a free thinker. and I have been ever since. So I couldn't agree with that more. And there's a whole hell of a lot of wisdom in that. But getting back to the music,
You ever notice how so many people who are anti-Christian are raised in Catholic households? Why do you think that is? They spend all their time hating Christianity instead of practicing real spirituality. So, but I digress.
No,
Let's roll on.
Guilt isn't a valid spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more on that as well, because I mean, when you're being subservient,
I could go on forever.
Oh, trust me, we could do an entire goddamn program on that. That's for sure.
We'll do part two all
which
about this later.
Will be coming up soon. Most definitely. So we talked about a lot of your influences. So as far as like the guitar, bass, who are some of your, I wouldn't say necessarily idols, but your biggest influences?
You were cutting out a little bit. It sounds like you're asking us about our current biggest influences, right? At this time,
as far as like guitar, bass, and drums.
Okay, maybe we can all answer that briefly. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going. So basically, for me, my biggest influence is, that's a tough one because I draw from so much in the world of death metal, black metal, and then also an equal, if not even more, amount of music that is not metal at all. Just to name a few, I mean, I don't really like name dropping, but just musically, I mean, some consistent ones have been like Cocteau Twins and a lot of stuff from the 80s, Tears for Fears, and just to name a few metal bands, I guess, I really love Secrets of the Moon. I really love even more raw underground stuff like, you're making me draw a blank, Necrovore, the fucking real deal. That's what we like, and I think that applies to all of us. Yeah. But if you guys have any specifics you want to name drop,
I have a very short, to the point,
remember to project
answer. Morbid Angel.
Oh, Morbid Angel, yeah.
Morbid Angel is perfect in my opinion, up to a point.
You can hear that in our new material, especially a lot of Morbid Angel influence.
Yeah.
Tucker era for life, by the way. Just kidding, David.
Definitely, and I can also hear some Nicholas Barker in you as well as a drummer. So I don't know if you've listened to a lot of his drumming, like his early stuff with Cradle of Filth, even into Dimmu Borgir. I definitely hear like Phil Wise and a lot of the ways you create your rhythms. Am I too far off on base on that?
Oh, definitely not as far as inspiration for the drumming, no.
There's a few others, though. I mean, early on, it was George Callias and, Frost from Satyricon 1349.
Big one, Derek Roddy.
Derek Roddy, yeah.
Awesome. All right. Let's see here. So, what's up, Maurice? Good to see you. Popping in while at work. He says, how you guys hope. I think he's trying to say there, hopefully you guys are having a good day. Very cool. So that's pretty awesome. It's not really more so about, name dropping, but there's comparisons are always made. I hear a lot more originality, but I do kind of hear, some other influences that, maybe you're not a fan of, but, I definitely think that it's going in a beautiful direction.
Can I ask
vocally,
you, what do you think we sound like? And we won't be offended. We're really interested in knowing how people receive our music, genuinely.
Definitely the Morbid Angel aspect. I definitely hear a lot of that rawness. Everything is like very tight. I would even say a little bit like guitar wise, like Rune Blasphemer. I can hear that kind of coming out of you as well. and some of the other
Definitely.
influences that you mentioned,
Huge
I
compliment.
think are definitely spot on. And I'm just really, really excited to hear you guys, newly produced, from what I heard on Bandcamp, which has been scrolling at the bottom subliminally to let you guys know where to find their music at, which is cultofdis.bandcamp.com, facebook.com, and of course, IG at Cult of Dis. But to get the music,
Right.
definitely go to the Bandcamp, check them out. And this is always kind of a touchy
I'd
subject
like to
because,
clarify on that real quick. The cult of Dis is everyone, not just the band. Yeah, the cult of Dis is everything surrounding the band. So the band is, just to be clear, the band's Deathspiral of Inherited Suffering. We go by Dis, and everyone who's a part of what we do, not just us, that's the cult of Dis. That's why all of our social media is cult of Dis, because that's you too.
Absolutely. And I've always kind of felt that way as well with the band that Circle of Nine, which I'm still in the process of doing. But it's definitely a way to let everybody know that they're a part of what you're doing. And I think that's fantastic. Not enough bands do that.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
so
really.
important.
Absolutely. Let's see here. So Cody says
I
the
think I
song
kind of derailed you.
Resurrectionist. He says I got a heavy Venom feel from it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if you can see it from here, but first
Oh, yeah.
tattoo ever. Venom, goat head from the black metal cover.
Fuck yeah. Classic. I don't think any dark. I think your guys' feed is a little choppy. But that's okay. That's all right. It's just giving us
We
a
can
little
still
bit
hear
of a
you.
delay.
Yeah, we see that, but we're still hearing you.
All right, cool. Just making sure, because I know sometimes hotels can be a little tricky. But that album
We'll
has
just plow through it.
influenced.
If you think it's happening, we'll just keep going.
I think that album itself has influenced, so many extreme metal bands, and always will. I mean, I think everybody can take something away from it, and we definitely hear that in what you're doing. So, so far, what has been some of your favorite shows that you've done?
I think the best show is the
All right. Looks like just a little bit of technical difficulty going on at the moment, at least from what I can see. But we will definitely fix that. If you have to, if you're able to still hear me, just back out, come back in. Not a big deal. Especially, sometimes with cell phones, that can kind of happen. So we're going to take a quick commercial break while we're getting that fixed for you. Over to, let's see here, our brothers over at Poison Valley Clothing. Check it out. Okay, while we're waiting for them to come back in, definitely one of the things that I can tell you about this band is there's a ton of passion that goes into what they're doing. Very heavy. If you are a fan of Morbid Angel and so many other bands, I mean, there's moments of like Paradise Lost. There's too many. But we're gonna kind of take a look at something they have coming up. So we have a little bit of a teaser video for you. Check that out. So excited to hear more. Holy shit. Everybody out there in Morgrot Entertainment universe. This was a first look. And I mean, it sounds amazing. And, you know, as far as like the voice goes as well, I really kind of hear a little bit of Nurgle in there too, if I'm not too far off base on that, which is so cool. But you definitely like vocally are doing it your own way. So hopefully that's a compliment to you.
It is. Thank you. He's a great vocalist, and he's especially back in the day, fucking Prometheon and all that. What was that other one? Slaves Shall Serve. You know, that was
Absolutely
my shit back then. Fuck, very bestial, powerful stuff. Thank you.
So why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what everybody just witnessed?
Well, basically, if you notice that artwork in the beginning, that was done by Elijah Tamu of Iconostasis. He also did the artwork for Metamorphosphoros, our other split from 2018. He's a close friend and collaborator, a dear spiritual ally of me and the band. And his band is also going to be on that split. His band's Panegyrist. Two other bands, Marand, which is a newly formed band, and Elysian Blaze. It's a deeply conceptual project that's been in the works for, I don't know, I don't want to do the math, like 5 years. We started on it at the end of Metamorphosphoros. So in a way, it's sort of a continuation of that for us, and it's their own continuation in their own individual praxis as well. So it's, in a way, the split, and along with every other release that we have, is kind of a milestone in our personal spiritual lives, our actual physical lives and the career of the band. Ultimately, that's our legacy that we're building. So Sunthema is a very important icon of this point in time for us. And then we move forward. There's a lot to be explored on that project. We're excited for everybody to experience what we've put into it and what has transformed in us as we've done so. So yeah, it's going to be the case for everything we release.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Do you have any like concepts live? Because those are, in my opinion, some like iconic shots of you guys live that are just, it shows so much, your dedication to your craft, not only in music but coming from our dark souls. Do you have any
Sure.
like vision for live stage shows in the future?
Tons, too many to even really get into all of them, obviously, but like that's a big part of it. And, the presentation of a band. Well, let's just talk about us, not generalize. What
Right.
we do is not just go on a stage, play the songs, and leave. And that's okay if that's what you want to do on the weekend or whatever. But it's the music, it's the visual art, it's the stage show, it's how we conduct ourselves even when we're not representing the band. It's all, it has to be our lives. And it is. So, yeah, specifically on stage, a lot of it's for us. That's the esoteric side. But then the
Right.
exoteric stuff that you see, there's fire, there's, well, like for one example, on his guitar cab, it's a custom guitar cab that has a sigil on it. And that sigil is right here. I doubt you can see it, but that's the sigil of Metamorphosphoros. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of things that are visible in what we do, and they are for other people. And if you want to explore what those things mean, you may already know if you're involved in these practices in your own way. But if you want to know, then just read our lyrics, listen to our music, see us live, talk to us before and after the show. We're easy to talk to. We love talking to our fans and even our haters. So,
We love talking to them.
of course. But yeah, the stage show's super important. I think our connection got fucked up a minute ago, something with the internet, but I was saying that our last show was one of the most enlightening ones because we learned a lot. And we, in a way, some parts we sounded like shit, but we realized that doesn't fucking matter because the energy was very real. You can watch all of our shows so far on YouTube, on our channel, Golden Disc, Thomas Theon, or other, fan footage. Heather Wallace from Memphis Hates You as the Cauldron on Instagram. I mean, she records every show in Memphis, seems like, and she's recorded ours. So you can see what it's like. The first two, they're a little rough. They're kind of getting the hang of it. But the last one, the energy, that's when we realized it doesn't really matter if you're tight. It doesn't matter if you're slightly out of tune. It doesn't matter because if you look at the crowd in front of you, they're fucking loving it. And we're feeding off
Right.
of that. And, that's such an essential thing that we should have already known that after having been doing this for so long. But like I said, we've been keeping it to ourselves. So yeah, we place a lot of value on the stage. And we're going to continue to do that and add more. And I know there's people who are going to criticize us and say, man, you guys are so theatrical. And why do you do that? Just focus on the music. Well, guess what? We are focused on the music. Trust me.
15 fucking
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's time to focus on everything else because that's in place, I hope that
And
answers your question.
that's really the secret, to the magic, if you will, especially on stage, is when you've got that crowd hanging with you. They're with you, they're listening, they're feeling it. And I mean, every band has an off show here and there. I mean, that happens. Sometimes it's the venue,
Right.
we don't always get the best mixers in the house.
Well, it's just like life, it's like real life. When you fail at anything, you can immediately turn that into a triumph or you can be a bitch about it and cry. And that's what, when we were having frustrations on stage because we couldn't hear each other, sure, that's hard to do, but, anything that's hard is worthwhile. I hope we have a lot more really difficult shows because it's going to make us better every time.
That was a real testing ground for us, was the frustration of not really being able to hear ourselves on stage versus what we were seeing out in the crowd on the last show, because we were kind of frustrated, but then people seemed to be into it.
Mhm.
And we were trying to kind of push through it, but then it was like, well, they seem to be enjoying it, so
Plus,
are they wrong?
We talked afterward, and we were like, I think we agreed that our frustration with those technical difficulties actually fed into the energy, because we make loud, fast, angry music, right? And what better mode to be in than piss the fuck off? So thank you, bad sound guy.
And that's the mark of a true solid band, that no matter what goes wrong, at the end of the day you realize it's for everyone, and as long as they're hanging with you and they're invested in what you're doing, shit, it's still a good show.
Right.
I've encountered that many times over the last 30 years, being on stage as well. Just doesn't matter. Just keep doing what you do, and people are digging it, whether it doesn't sound the way you want it to, or so that's what I'm saying. People, humble as fuck. They do it for themselves. They do it for you. So catching you guys live is definitely going to be amazing.
Thank you.
Cody says, that's what I love about the Growlers venue. It's so personal with the bands. Man, I'll take that over a fucking 6-foot barricade any day.
For sure. We agree.
Welcome, Spider Cowboy from YouTube. Awesome. Glad to have you with us. So, yeah, the fact that, you guys only have a few shows under your belt, but I mean, you're already creating fans everywhere you go. So tell me about how the Just Another Fucking Metal show came about for you guys.
Again, like everything that you asked, there's a long story, and I'm going to spare you the whole story. But John Sorrell, which is the motherfucker behind Morgrot Records, Morgrot Magazine, Morgrot Entertainment, is one of my best friends and a dear brother of this band, and he's our fucking manager too. So basically, he's the guy putting the show together. Yeah, John's the best, but he's the guy putting the show together, and I'm personally helping him out with that, along with a few others, guys in bands, and his wife. It's a real community effort putting this thing together, and all the bands playing are from either here or around here, because we're trying to kind of support the local scene. It's not just local. We hate the term local. It's you can't change the fucking world unless you focus on your own life and your own town and your own community. So that's what this is all about. It's just a fucking metal show. Come have fun, support the bands so that people can do what they love, and we can all go to work on Monday and not want to shoot ourselves, because there are people out there like us, and we can commune with that. That's what this is about. We're happy to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And once you guys feel like you get comfortable, do you plan on playing at all, like regionally, with like the states that border you?
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, man. We'll play any show, anywhere, anytime, and no matter if there's 0 people or 100,000, we're gonna give everything we've got. And no matter how if we had a bad day or if there's a problem, technical difficulties, you're gonna get fucking this every time if you invite this to a show, and it's gonna get better and better. So that doesn't mean wait until we're better. Ask us now, please. But we think that what we do is worth something, and some people hate to see that, and that's fine. Some people want to be a part of that, and we want to be a part of it if they are doing shit as well. So, like, if there's a good show going on, we want to play with bands that are serious. They don't have to be the same genre. They don't have to agree with us politically, whatever it may be. But yeah, we're international minded. Our Metamorphosphoros, our very first release, was released by I Voidhanger from Italy. Our next one is I Voidhanger, Rubius Obex, and Morgrot. So we're doing a small scale local distribution. We're doing national North American, and then we're doing European and South American. We got other markets to tap into with our recorded output, As far as traveling for shows, we want to go everywhere, man. We want to, and it's not about wanting to live the rock star life. It's about
No.
having opportunities to do this on a bigger scale so that we can do it better and for more people, you know, make it more of a real thing in the world and not just real to us. That's called solipsism, and it's a dead end. So, absolutely, we're not doing this just to have beer on the weekends, you know, in Memphis.
Yeah, and I mean honestly, that's the best route to take with it. So when it comes to distribution, so obviously Spotify, Amazon Music, mediums like that, they do get our music out there internationally. Is that something you plan on doing in the future, or just going to kind of like, leave that to the wayside?
A lot of that stuff, like licensing for digital streaming platforms, is done by the label that puts our stuff out, which is in this case, so far, it's been Void Hanger. You know, they use all the metadata and stuff like that we cavemen don't know about to put us on there. Now, if we had to do it ourselves, we could easily figure it out because that's what we do. But we are on Spotify. Unfortunately, we're on there under D.I.S. And our name is not an acronym. It should be as either DIS or Deathspiral of Inherited Suffering. But yeah,
Right.
Metamorphosis is on Spotify. We're on YouTube. As we have more studio output, it's going to be on everything. You won't be able to get away from it. You will inherit our fucking suffering. Sorry, not sorry. Enjoy.
And sometimes it can be the most beautiful suffering at the same time.
Isn't it though?
It is to me. It always will
Yep.
be, because I always feel like, true artistry, true human emotion goes through that cycle. It's a part of life, and you just can't get away from it.
Well, to be clear, I said, isn't it though, in agreement, not is it though. Just to make sure you heard that right. We totally agree with that for sure.
No, for sure, man. So literally everybody out there in the Morgue Route universe, there is no reason that you can't go check and support this band out. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody has a computer. Wherever you get your fucking music, you will find this band, and you need to. Is there any? I'm sorry.
Never mind. We're telling them to come the fuck on and get on our side because they're gonna anyway.
For sure. Any bands that you're particularly excited about playing with, sharing the stage?
Oh, we've been honored to play with so many killer bands like Gutted Christ, Kamikaze Zombie. I mentioned Pantheon, Skulldozer. We've got actually kind of a big announcement for us. I've been really digging this band called Dawn of Ascension. They're from Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. I was actually on a label with those guys.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're super heavy for a supposedly hardcore band. Again, we don't really care about genre, but I listened to their song. I think it's their newest single. It's called Kill Your Enemies, and it blew me away. So I immediately had this feeling that we got to play with these guys. Now, this was like a month ago. When I heard that, we had shows booked. We had one for May 23rd with Gutted Christ and another band. Well, that other band dropped off, so we contacted this brutal death metal band. Not the genre brutal. I'm saying they're a band that is brutal. They're called Severe Head Wound, and it's some
I've
younger
heard of them
guys.
too.
Oh, if you haven't heard their music, man, you'd love it. It's
amazing. I definitely have.
Okay, good. Yeah, if anybody out there hasn't heard Severe Head Wound, these guys are going somewhere, and they're pretty young. They're like a fucking Decapitated. Winds of Creation was recorded by those Polacks when it was like they were 15 or 16. Unbelievable.
It is kind of crazy to think about it.
Yeah, Severe Head Wound is definitely the real deal, and we're playing with them May 23rd. Now, Gutted Christ dropped off, so we got to replace them too. Now we've got two bands replacing them, so it's kind of an improvement. No offense, Michael. He's singer of Gutted Christ, but we got Ruined God from Memphis. They're just now starting out. They're great, kind of doom band, but you can look them up for yourself. Jamie Hall, local staple here. Everybody knows him. and also the Dawn of Ascension. And we reached out and we thought, well, a month ago I found these guys and felt like this was going to happen at some point. And fortunately, they said yes. So they're coming, and we're very excited about that. But
Hell yeah.
man, we want to play with everybody. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't matter your status or your genre or any of that. If you're a serious band, we can definitely work together, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, we're determined to make things happen, no matter what.
Yeah,
You know, if we face a temporary setback, it's like, well, the show must go on. You know, we're not just going to throw in the towel.
Yeah,
The time for standing in the shadows is pretty much over. So,
yeah.
you know,
Absolutely.
We want to play shows with our brother bands from Memphis, like Process of Suffocation, as much as we want to tour with fucking Morbid Angel. You know, we want all of it. So.
I could see you guys playing with Summoner Circle.
I love them, actually. They had that, what was it recently? A Reverence of the Cross is their
Yes.
newest single. That was fucking killer. Really good stuff. I would be open to that. They're great.
They are a great bunch of guys. Humble as
Yeah.
hell, too. They're not all about the status or anything like that, you know, no matter who they've played with. So, you know, it's always just so awesome to hear how all of the underground bands are really kind of pulling for each other. It's one of those, you know, dysfunctional families, but it's the best family to be a part of, you know?
Right. Hey, you should introduce us, you know, tell Summoner Circle to get that message.
Oh,
We'll
absolutely.
join.
I plan on forwarding all your links to them after
Cool.
broadcast tonight, because I
one
think
other
they
thing
would really
too,
dig you guys as well.
Thank you. One other thing,
Absolutely.
we are not confirmed whatsoever, but there's a lot of threads coming together that are kind of looking like we might be considered for Tampa Death Fest. Now, I'm not on TDF's behalf. I'm not saying that they've said yes.
Right.
But that's a possibility. And if we don't, then I feel like we will next year. So everybody should check out Tampa Death Fest either way, because that's a real serious event. And whether we're there or not, you know, it's a cool fest. So, although we might be there this year.
I could definitely see you guys playing. What is it? Maryland Death Fest. That would be a
Great,
good
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Hopefully you can see us
There's so
playing
many
all
of them that are popping up now. It's unreal, and I love it.
Me
You know,
too.
it's like,
We do,
why
yeah.
pay, you know, $200-300 and, you know, pay for overpriced merch for some of these bands when you can go to a show like that, or like, you know, the one you guys just talked about, and see the best in the underground, literally
Right.
everybody that's on them. You know,
Agreed.
you're not paying out the nose. You'll actually sit there and talk to fans instead of, you know, we've been talking about that a lot on the show about, you know, some of these VIP packages for, it's like, come on, man, $1,500 for 5 minutes. Get the fuck out of here.
Fuck all that,
That shit is so tired.
You know what?
Say hey, say whatever you want.
Yeah. And then
Introduce yourself.
Matt was talking. He's told this story. He tells the same stories over and over, but that's something about him. But one thing that comes up a lot is the time that he met Eric Rutan, and that's how we want to
shit.
be. Basically, Eric was talking to a fan. You know, he's getting swarmed because everybody knows who he is. And Matt walks over there, and he's just standing there, kind of waiting his turn. And Eric kind of looks over. This guy's talking at him, and Eric looks over at Matt, and he tells the other fan, "Hey, hold on 1 second, man. What's up?" And he looks at Matt. And Matt's just like, "Hey, I just want to tell you, great show. Thanks for coming." And Eric said, "Thank you so much for coming." And he was just a cool guy. And then he went back to talking. And that's how we try to be. That's how everybody should be, you know? It doesn't matter how big your band is or how famous you are, whether it's a local show or a big festival. You know, we're all there for the same reasons, and we all come from the same place. And we're all going to the same place, too. So, yeah, with that humbleness that you mentioned earlier, and just remembering no matter where you are, wherever you go, there you are, right?
Absolutely. So obviously, we talked a little bit, you know, before show, but let's go ahead and let the More Bright universe know about anything that you have upcoming, you know, as far as more projects or more releases.
Okay. Most pertinently, we've got Sun Thema. That is, I'm just gonna give this man a lighter here. Here you go. Sun Thema, the split release from I Void Hanger. due out this year. Hopefully in the next couple months. It's actually done, but it needs to be, the final mastering. All the artwork's done, all the layout, everything's in place for it to just be distributed. And yeah, keep an eye out for that. I Void Hanger, Rubius Obex, Morgrot Records. And then we're going to be putting out a 3-song EP called To the Noose made of angel veins. And that's going to be a standalone EP that's going to follow up some thema. But it also is sort of a teaser for our full length, which is also in the works. And that album's not titled yet, but we've got the artwork. The artwork was actually done by my wife, Tona Hurst. She's an amazing artist. We work closely with her. Work closely with her. She's the one who designed our logo, not the circle sigil, but the actual Deathspiral of Inherited Suffering logo. She did this skull dagger symbol.
Oh, it's killer.
Thank you. I'll tell her you said that. Actually, I won't because she's right there off camera. But,
the cat's out of the bag.
We can't wait for everybody to see some of the artwork that she's done. It's absolutely breathtaking, and it's going to graciously adorn our full-length cover and the EP, and most likely every release after that. So we got 3 releases coming out. We got 2 shows booked, potentially another festival, and that's what's happening in our world, as far as actual activity.
Man. It's a really exciting time for you guys. More and more people are going to get to know you, especially all of my addicts and demons out there that tune in to this show. That when I bring a band on, it's because I think there's something special there. And I can definitely say you guys are going to rise rather quickly, because from what I've heard and what all of you, tuning in tonight, heard a little bit of their next single coming up. It is a fucking banger, but at the same time, go to the show wherever they're going to be playing. Catch the experience. That's what it really is. It's more than just music. Hearing you guys talk so passionately about it's the same way I view, any type of live show setting. It's very much a ritual in and of itself, and all of you guys get to be a part of that. So take advantage of it, because, there's only so many times that they'll be playing locally. So get your asses out there, get to just another fucking metal show, have your asses there, support these killer bands. We only exist because of you guys out there. So make sure you pick up some merch, follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and definitely the Bandcamp, and try to get, any kind of merch that you can get your hands on. So what is your lasting message for new fans that have heard about you tonight, as well as the fans that have tuned in to see you?
To everybody who's been there since the beginning, you know what it is. Let's keep this fucking thing going to the end. To everybody who finds out about us now or tomorrow or any other day, welcome to the Cult of Dis. If you want to go along for the ride, you are most welcome, as long as you're serious. To anybody who wants to stop us, you can try all you want, but that's not going to work out for you. So we wish you the best of luck. If you win, it's because you deserve to, and it ain't going to happen. So, yeah, thanks for sharing us with your audience, Reaper. We really appreciate it, and we're grateful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you guys working with me. Thursday was just absolute hell. I wasn't even able to get into a room until about 10:30 that night, and being able to reschedule it, because I was like, hey, ain't no fucking way I'm not doing the show. I don't give a shit what happens. We're going to make this happen.
Oh, we totally understood what happened, and there was never any bad blood with that. And also, it actually ended up in us having a great night, and we just had our own inner circle because we were all here for that, and you kind of brought us together for that, and we appreciate that. Even though we were disappointed no interview, we still had some productive inner circle time, so to speak. So that's
fantastic.
Good. It worked out.
Most definitely. And definitely when you guys are having some of your releases dropping, I'd love to have you guys back on so we can explore that and get everybody ready for it. to help promote any shows you got coming up. I will always repost that. Morgrot Entertainment as well. All of us, we wish you great success. Everybody out there in the Morgrot universe, check this band out and follow them. And so then when their releases happen, and you'll be able to know as well because you're going to be following them. So thank you guys so much out there in the Morgrot universe. I don't normally do interviews on Sunday nights, but hey, it's Sinful Sunday, and it has been most definitely a pleasure. And thank you, Cult of Dis, for coming on. Appreciate you so much, and can't wait to hopefully meet you guys out there somewhere at some point. I think that would be absolutely awesome.
There's a horror movie convention in Memphis that I hear you're coming to. Is that true?
As a matter of fact, the Memphis Monster Con. So definitely come down and see us, man. That'd be awesome. We'll take over everything.
That's right.
So far, I think we've got
the world.
We've got Ken Foray and I think CJ Graham from Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yeah.
And,
and that's going to be an honor in itself. That's one of my heroes.
Yeah, we have so much to talk about. We didn't even get into horror movies or anything else. We got to do a part 2 now.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. And that was actually part of what I was going to do. As a matter of fact, we still got some time. Fuck it.
Let's go.
Give me your top 3 favorite horror films of all time.
All right. Well, just so you know, Simon is the cinephile. I am too, and Matt doesn't watch movies, so he doesn't need to answer. Yeah, see you later. Matt likes Spiced World a lot. I know he watches that a lot.
I love that, right?
Simon, why don't you go first? This is for you.
Doing top three horror just all time, I guess.
Yeah, just boom, boom, boom.
It's not going to be a groundbreaking revelation, but I would probably say the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, just for how gritty and in your face it is.
Absolutely.
It just has a certain atmosphere that is hard to replicate and really hasn't been replicated, in my opinion, with all the spin-offs and knockoffs and all the stuff that's been going on.
It's a fun series, though, even if some of them suck.
Exactly.
Yeah, it gets confusing if you try to put them in continuity, but that first one just hits every fucking time. I would have to say one that's really grown on me a lot over the years is Exorcist 3.
Jeffrey Dahmer's favorite.
Exactly. You would think, especially given the reputation that Part 2 has, you would think a movie called Exorcist 3 has no business being any good. But then you watch it and it's like, this is fucking great. Like, it's really my go-to Exorcist movie. It's just so creepy and weird.
I believe in filth. I believe in slime.
Yeah, it just,
personally, I thought it was almost better than the first.
I agree.
Yeah, the first has a lot of kind of baggage, I guess, because of its reputation. Not baggage, but, it's kind of the obligatory one. And it is a classic, but that third one is just...
It's creepier.
Third one, I don't know, maybe The Thing. Again, it's kind of a safe choice, I guess, but I can't get tired of The Thing.
All right, so my top 3 are for very stupid personal reasons, so I'm not gonna talk about it. And there is no top 3. Trying to do a top 3 is impossible, but let's try. Okay. Martyrs, Flower, Flesh and Blood, Triangle. Okay.
It is hard. I think I'm gonna have to save it for part 2. I can't come up with any. It's too much.
It really is difficult, isn't it?
Someone that doesn't watch a lot of movies, he's introduced me to a few. Martyrs being one of them. Yeah, that was a good one.
We watched Bone Tomahawk.
That's
it's kind of a horror movie, especially
that shit was gripping.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Don't Answer the Phone.
Oh yeah, Maniac, Don't Answer the Phone.
Yeah, Nicholas Worth and Don't Answer the Phone is just like one of the top just nut bags of all time. He's so good.
Very underrated performance of a total isolated psychopath who's just ascending into the worst kind of madness, and it's got that 80s charm, that grit that Maniac has, or like Prowler or something like that.
It's like a West Coast version of Maniac.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so fucking brutal. Kind of, came out of left field, and it's called classic, man. Can't beat it.
We
I
love all of
definitely
it,
share
though.
that in common with you as well.
Nice. Nice.
So,
Yeah, we could
all
do a whole
right.
episode about just film.
Oh, most definitely. We'll have to do that sometime. That'd be
That's not
great.
invited to that one, though.
I mean, I can see that. Maybe I'll learn something.
Oh, shit. Again, thank you all so much. And if you missed the live broadcast, you can catch the replay instantly. I don't give a shit. Somebody's awake somewhere. Watch it, share it, follow them, and definitely check out everything that they're doing. So thank you all so much. And the most important thing you must always do, stay heavy.